In the midst of every trouble, there are always glimmers of hope. Thanks for watching. All right, here we go. We're talking with Jackie. Jackie's our special guest tonight. Jackie, thank you very much for being with us. We've been talking beforehand, and in your story, I stopped you. I stopped you earlier because you just were on a tear. You're doing great. So we're going to start again talking about you and the fire and what happened afterward. So here we go. But before the fire, we're going to go back. It was January 7th, 8th, and 9th. Okay. Before the fire, what would you say that home meant to you? What was home to Jackie?
There's no place like home. No place I'd rather be at home. So, I like to be at home.
Now, when you say that, I'm going to jump in right there. When you say that, do you picture your home, your house that you had? I know we talked about your fabrics there and your clothing business and everything. Is that what you're thinking of? Is like that was home. That was where we.
Yeah, that was my safe place.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my safe place. I like there better than anywhere. When I go to the store, I'm like, I can't wait to get home to my sewing machine. Home, I love to. I didn't even like to leave the house.
Terrific. Okay. Now, we talked a little bit ago, but I'm going to have you relive it again because you really told a good story. The day of the fire, and now we know it was January 7th. I got to my house a little after 6. You got to your house a little after 6:30. Mm-hmm. Tell me briefly your fire experience, because you have more of a fire experience than anyone else I've talked to. You were in the thick of it.
Right. When we got home, we heard about it on the radio, but we didn't see any fire. So maybe 15 minutes later, when I went outside, I could see the fire on the top of the hill. But I didn't know the bottom of the hill had already burned, but we couldn't see it for the smoke. So when I went back in, everybody had evacuated. We said, we're not going to go because it's no big deal. So we stayed, and later, my husband went to bed, and the fire caught the back fence. So I woke him up, and we went out, and we went to work. We tried to get the fire out. We were going from the front of the house to the back. We had buckets, we had a water hose. We were on the roof, and when the wind shifted, and the embers were flying everywhere, the car tire caught on fire. I had to put the car tire out. I didn't know the tire exploded and popped. We just thought it was melted a little bit.
Right.
So when the wind shifted the last time, it took the garage behind us. It took the garage the wind took the flames and just whoosh, and I could feel the heat. And then my face was burning, my eyes were burning, and we tried to get the car away from the garage that was parked outside. But so when we tried to open it, the heat melted the wires.
Good.
So the garage door crashed down.
Now, we've had a couple of wildfires since I've lived here in this area. Okay, I'm going to guess you've lived through some fires as well, but not quite that close. It was really hot. I was not that close. You're there in the midst of it.
It was hot because when a gust of wind blew, it blew the flame so fiercely that it felt like a torch, and it was like it just grabbed my face.
Oh.
And I was like, it didn't burn it bad, but I could feel that it was burnt.
Right.
And I put Vaseline on my face for 2 days, and my whole face filled. And I didn't go to the doctor, but 2 days my eyes watered.
Oh.
And they just watered and they watered. I'm like, I don't want to go anywhere because my eyes won't stop running. So we watched it burn the next day we came back and it was still burning. My fabric was still on fire.
Oh.
It was not smoke. It was flames like torch, like.
So tell us, put that in context, your fabric, but what is it that you did in your home?
I had a home-based business where I made crafts and I made clothes. And I sit and watching the house burn. All I could think of was all my inventory, all my machines that I had. I had a sewing machine for 40 years, never had any problems. And it was like my best friend. And to see that go, and then later come back and see it there, like a skeleton, it was, and I had fabric that I collected since I was for 40 years.
Oh.
So I had a lot of fabric. I had 30 pairs of scissors for everything, different scissors. I do craft shows. I had a lot of inventory in the living room. I grabbed the dog jackets that I made because it took so much time to make them. and they were in a big bag, so I grabbed those and the dog shirts. But everything else,
This is total
just
loss.
total loss.
Total loss.
Total loss.
So I know that the loss is huge, and people are right now thinking, "Oh, wow, to lose your home, that's." But in the days that followed, if you don't mind telling us, what else happened? What other loss?
Well, my husband really took it hard because he worked hard. My husband worked really hard, and he left his house. He never, anything broke, he fixed it right away. Everything was always up to par. So when the house was actually burning and we were sitting in the car watching, I could see his face, the pain. It was a lot. I could see the pain in his face. Even my sister, when she saw the video of us sitting in the car, she's like, "Look at his face. You could see the pain." And then we went to the hotel. He would cry, and he was like, "We're homeless." I'm like, "It's gonna be okay. We have insurance. Some people don't have insurance." And he's like, "But you don't understand. We're homeless. We're almost like living in our car." Then he didn't like the hotel because he loves to be home. He loved PlayStation. He played PlayStation every day. He couldn't play PlayStation. So that bothered him. And when we evacuated, when we left the house, the first thing he grabbed was his PlayStation. He unhooked the PlayStation, he got his laptop, and I got all the papers out the safe, and my laptop, and my dog. But at the hotel, he couldn't, it wasn't home. I cook every day. Fast food was out of the question. He doesn't like to eat fast food. He ate healthy. So he didn't like that. And then we moved to another hotel, which was nicer, but he wasn't happy. And it had a kitchen, so I could cook, but it wasn't home. And he was depressed. Really depressed, and I never seen him like that. And eventually the insurance company got us a house in Burbank, and we moved to Burbank on a Sunday, and he cried every day. He was really broken from the house burning because he had a 61 Impala he built from a rust car where he cut it and fixed it, and it was immaculate. Top of the line, everything was brand new. He just finished it. It burned. And to know that he worked for 6 years for that car.
Oh boy.
And you can see it. It hurt. It hurt. I could see his pain. He worked so hard for that car, and to see it just go just like that. And then after that, he figured he built the car's gone, and then he passes away. And I'm thinking, he worked so hard. He retires after 38 years of work. Then he didn't enjoy it, and it just hurt. It just hurt. It hurts. It hurts, and he didn't deserve not to enjoy his retirement. And he was so happy.
Yeah.
And but he couldn't bounce back.
Yeah. I wish I had words. I wish I had words to say right now. I mean, I have never experienced something like that. I've never been close to someone who's been through so very, very much, and I'm so sorry for your loss. I mean, it's words fail me. But I'm going to ask you a question, and then just think about it for a second, or maybe you've already been thinking about it because we've already sort of spoken right here. But in the days that followed, you're facing stuff that nobody has faced, right? But people will say, "Yeah, I know how you feel," because no,
Right.
you don't. But looking back now, and it's been 4 or 5 months, right? Can you look back and maybe see some place that God was working to answer that prayer? You told your husband it's going to work out. It's going to be okay. I know you've experienced the worst, but still, can you look back and think, there was a moment that God stood in the gap. God was there for me.
Well, my husband, I think he went through so much and he was so beat down. And maybe the day before he passed away, he cried out for his mother. And I'm thinking that's a sign because his mother had passed away years ago. And I'm thinking that gave me a little comfort because he cried out for his mother. And I'm thinking his mother came for him. He wanted his mother. So it gave me a little comfort, but me wanting him to be back with me made me feel selfish. Like he wanted to be with his mother because he missed his mother.
Right.
And that gave me a little comfort that I know that he's okay because his mother's holding him. So, and There was a time when the house was on fire, and I thought my husband actually went back in the house, but he didn't. I went to get him,
Oh no.
and I was calling for him. And he used to play jokes on me where I would call him, he would hide and not answer. So I'm like, please don't be playing a joke on me, and don't be in that room. So I'm thinking he's in the room. So I'm like, so when I open the door, it's just heat. I'm like,
Oh.
if he's in there, he's down. So I'm going to get him. So I'm calling. I said, if you don't call me, I'm coming in. He didn't answer. So I was about to go in the room to get him, and I heard him in the front. And I thought to myself, when my husband passed away, honestly, I felt like I wish I would have went in the room and I would have this pain. Because he probably would have been able to handle my death better. I wish that I would have went in there and I wouldn't be feeling what I feel. It really hurts. It really hurts. And it's not getting better. Every day is the same.
So, what do?
I try to stay busy. I sew, because I couldn't sew for a long time. I mean, when I start sewing, I sit down, I'm like, okay, 5 minutes, I'm like, I can't do this. Because when I would sew something, I'm like, oh, look what I made. Isn't that cute? And he was always there.
Yeah.
What you making now? And it's not there. So it's not the same. And that's like, we were together all day, every day. He left, I left. We were always together. So when he's not there, when I cook what you want. Now I don't want to cook. I don't want to eat. Because I'm not anybody to cook for. And it's so empty. It's just so empty. And the dog, at night, she looks in space like, now he's here. She sees him.
Oh boy.
And I'm like, I said, Diamond's here. She's like, she sees him. And I can tell. And I haven't slept in the bed since this happened. I think the first night when he passed away, I called my sister. She came on a Thursday night. She stayed until Saturday. I haven't slept in the bed since that day. So and I have to pass that room, and I can see him out the side of my eye, laying there every time I pass. And it's just, this is something I wouldn't wish on anybody.
No.
Because, people say time heals. You just live with it. It hurts. It hurts.
But I gotta tell you, if I didn't know, I wouldn't know. Your spirit, the life that you live. We just met officially, a while ago, just here. One would never know that you've gone through this. How do you do that?
I think about what he would want me to do. And I do the best I can, but he was a stronger person than me. But it's hard because he was my everything. I mean, we did everything together. If I go to the store and it takes 20 minutes, in 18 minutes he's like, you on your way? We weren't apart like that, and we didn't like being apart. When I would go to the fabric store, he goes, how long are you going to be? When you coming back? And he would tell, one of his friends told me that he told her, she asked him, where's Jackie? And he said, oh, she went to Joanne's. She said to him, good, you got a break from her. He goes, I don't like that. I said, I don't like her to leave the house. We might not have words through the whole day, but I know she's there. And I like that. I don't want her to go nowhere. If she goes, I want to go. When I go, she goes. Because I don't like her being away from the house. I like to be with her all the time. So, and I like the same thing. He was always there. And it's just, it's not a good feeling.
So, if
I deal with it because I have to distract myself. I talk on the phone with my sister. I watch the Dodger game on the computer. And I watch the NBA playoff game while I'm sewing. That keeps me wired to something constantly. Or other than that, I'm like, I don't think I get depressed, but I'm real sad all the time. It's the sadness. And people call and say, why don't you cheer up? I'm like, there's no cheering up. The cheery time for me is over. I'm not gonna be cheery. I'm functional, but I'm not happy about
I don't think nobody's asking my opinion, but I don't think you have to be happy.
Right.
Okay? Because you just went through a
Right.
tragic thing.
Right.
Time will pass.
Right.
Okay? We all know that time will pass, and over time it will be further in the past.
Right.
But it'll never be really gone.
And
it's still our job to find a way to function, to be, Paul says, rejoice in the Lord always.
Right. It's hard.
That's hard to do.
Hard because you're living this right here now. So it's really hard, and it's hard.
So besides this is not on my list. Besides the obvious sadness that you are enduring, how do you find this obvious joy? How? Because you do not exude tragedy. I think someone's going to meet you and they're going to be amazed at your spirit. Where does that come from?
I think about my husband. He would say to me, "You can't sit and cry all day. You have to act. You have to take action and do things. Because there's things I didn't do. He did everything. So now I have to do it. So now some of the things I didn't know how to do. So I'm like, he would say to me, Jackie, figure it out. You can't just say you don't know how to do it. Now you got to figure out how to do it. And you're going to learn how to do it. And you can learn how to do it. And then somebody else might need you to help them learn. And I can go in a grocery store and have a breakdown in the middle of the store. So I went in Trader Joe's one day. And my phone rang. No, somebody else's phone rang in the store with the ringtone I had for him. And I almost fainted. And I ran out the store and I got in the car and I just lost it. And everything reminds me that I go down the street. In Altadena, there are streets like Orange Grove. There are streets like Altadena. Burbank has like 7 streets with the same name. And I'm like, oh my God, it's like a constant reminder all the time. All the time. And I had a breakdown in the store where this lady was in front of me and she had a lot of stuff, but she was in a rush. So she said, I got my lunch here, I got to get out back to work. So I said, you can go in front of me. So she said, oh, I forgot my avocados. So I said, go get your avocados, I'll wait. So the lady was ringing her stuff up, so I packed her stuff. Because at that moment, I was about to burst out crying. Me helping her calmed me down from not, because sometimes I can't, it's like I'm gonna explode. So at that moment in the store, I was at that point, so I started helping her. That distracted me and calmed me down. But this is something I never experienced, and I don't want anybody. Let
me tell you, again, nobody's asking my opinion.
It's terrible.
But I would say that was you being a blessing to someone else, even though you're experiencing pain.
Mm-hmm.
And that does not happen by accident.
Mm-hmm.
That is training. That is the Holy Spirit inside you serving someone even though you're in pain.
Mm-hmm.
You could have replied, no.
Right.
Don't you know about what I'm going through?
Right.
And all she needed was her avocados.
Right.
You served her for some steak and
Yeah.
avocados.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Well, Jackie, third time I'm going to say it. That's going to be my opinion, but that is the purpose for you, is to bless people's life even though you are in the middle of some serious pain.
And I even went to, I had a friend, and I was telling my friend, I had a whole bunch of quilts, blankets I made, but I didn't use them all. So I had them on my guest bed in the guest room on the bed, just for storage. And so in the hospital, I think Altadena Drive, that hospital up there, they had to evacuate the older people.
Yeah.
And I saw them, I was watching it. I was like, oh my God, they have nothing but a gown. It's cold. It was windy. And I'm like, I'm going to take the blankets. We're not going to use them. I'm going to take them. And I'm like, when I opened the door, I couldn't even walk. It was so windy. I couldn't even get to the car. So I said, okay, I'm not going to go. My husband's like, don't go. It's too windy, So I didn't go. It took me a month to get over the guilt for not giving those blankets away. They burned. And I was like, I could have gave them to somebody, and they burned. That hurt me. That I couldn't give them away. And they burned. Somebody could have used them. And people were like, Jackie, but it doesn't go away. It's still bothered me.
But again, I'm going to say, and I'm not your counselor, but you have obvious power and ability. You do, okay? And you're going to put that to use. You said earlier, when we were talking, you said that the bad is obviously bad, and the good could be the result of the bad. You said something like that the positive comes because of my reaction to this bad, and I think that's truth right there. Really good. What do you carry with you now? What to going forward? We're 5 months into it. Can you give me something that you carry with you now that moves you forward?
I just have to take it one day at a time. And it's hard.
Yeah.
For him, my husband not being here is hard. Every day is hard. Every day. And sometimes I don't want to get out of bed. I didn't eat for like 6 days. And I never got hungry. And what gets me up most of the time is my dog. Because she has to eat. She has to go out to use the bathroom. But if I didn't have a dog, I probably wouldn't get up.
Well, I'm going to thank God for Khaleesi right now, because that's good. Keeps you moving.
Yeah, she helps. It helps. Because if I didn't have a dog, I'm like, this is... And I have to take her everywhere. Because when I leave the house, he's there. Now there's nobody there. She doesn't like to be home.
No.
So I can't go to the doctor. I have to have some doctor's appointments because I can't take her.
Goodness. Well, let me tell you,
Say
there
hi.
she is. Come on up here.
Say hi, mommy.
Oh, it's a good dog.
Say hi.
And how about folks? I mean, we can go to church here together. You're here at the Montrose campus in busy campus for the Montrose Church. Do you have resource people are there? That people come together? Are we doing our job here at church for each other?
John and Mary are the sweetest. I met them years ago, but I didn't really talk to them a lot. And they are the sweetest people. And they invited me to this church, and I'm so glad. And we have a group session like every other Friday here for the people that were in fire. And it helps because they understand. They went through it, they understand. So I really enjoy coming. And I enjoyed all the people that I met here. They're so nice. And I love it. I love it.
Well, you're not alone.
Thank you.
You are not alone. All right. Thank you so much for sharing your story. I know it's a big deal. Like I said, I can't imagine going through it. I have a pretty good imagination, but I don't want to imagine that. It's God bless you. And again, I say, you have something. You have a spirit about you that is going to touch people. You go forward with them. That's a good thing.
Thank you.
Right,
Thank you.
Thank you all for being here with us. It's been terrific. Jackie, thank you again for your time. And I'm sure people will be blessed by your story. Resilience is the word of the day. Resilient is the word. Thank you very much for being here with us.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for watching. Please reach out to us. info@glimmersofhope.me